Why should we discuss teen pregnancy to our children? Well, it is a very, very important thing for us as parents to discuss to our children about teenage pregnancy and safe sex. Because as a parent, are you really concerned about your teenager's future? Well, in order to protect your child's future, you must discuss safe sex at an early age. It is our responsibility as parents to help our children. I became pregnant as a teenager, and I'm going to help every parent and teenager understand why it is so important to wait to have a child. So, did you know that only 1/3 of teen mothers finish high school? That's very, very low. 33% of teen mothers do not finish high school, much less college. People who do not have a high school education usually live in poverty. 83% of people who utilize welfare did not complete a high school education. It is very difficult even to obtain an entry-level job without a high school diploma. A general education degree is very beneficial to obtain, or your GED, although only 93% of employers will choose a high school graduate over a person who has obtained their GED. So getting a high school education is very important, and for a teen mom, it is very hard for them to finish high school and be able to financially cover their child or their new infant's needs. Likewise, parents have to educate their children about safe sex. You should discuss safe sex on a continuous basis, not just once and assume that they understand what you're trying to say. You need to talk about safe sex at an early age, and you need to continuously do it. Most parents who talk to their children about safe sex just say, "Don't have unprotected sex because you could get pregnant." Teenagers have to know your beliefs on teen pregnancy. You have to help them understand what issues would arise if they had a baby so young. How do they feel about having a baby? You need to explain everything. They don't understand that having a child is a 24/7 job. And yes, it is very, very pleasurable, but not at such a young age when they can't enjoy their high school functions, go to football games, go to prom, go to the dances, and do normal teenage stuff. Children also have to be taught the methods of birth control. They don't understand sometimes how they can get pregnant, or they think they're doing their method will work, and it won't. So the best choice would be obviously to wait until you're married to have sex. But be realistic as a parent. Many children have sex. 91% of women have sex before marriage. So we have to help them understand what their birth control options are. They can have the patch, they can have the vaginal rings, they can do the diphtheria shot or use condoms. They also need to understand that condoms are the only thing besides abstinence that can protect them from getting an STD. So they can use condoms along with another form of birth control at the same time. And as a parent, we need to explain all this information to our teenage children. Have your friends, your child's friends, at your house a lot. They'll usually become more comfortable with you as a parent if you're there and you are talking with them on a continuous basis. And then they will also tell you more information if you see them all the time. What else should you do as a parent to help your child prevent teen pregnancy? Well, the most important thing that you should do is know where your teenager is at. Be involved at all times. Go to those soccer games. Go to those baseball games. Go to the basketball games. Call your child. If she's at a movie, she says she's going to a movie, or he says she's going to a movie, go by the movie theater. Know where your children are at. You have to be actively involved. Don't just assume that because they told you that that's where they're at. Contact the other, if they're staying at a friend's house, contact that other parent. and double check and make sure that that is where your child is going. I did become pregnant at the age of 16, and I've learned a few things that I will be doing differently than my parents did. And not that my parents were negligent in any way. They were wonderful parents, but there is a few things that they didn't do that I will be doing with my children to prevent teen pregnancy. I do not want my children to have to be in high school and not enjoying those dances and the things that teenagers should enjoy because they're at home taking care of their little ones. So, a few things that I have learned differently are sex was never talked about in my household. It was almost a private issue. My parents one time said, "Don't have sex." I said, "Oh, I won't." Then it was done. The conversation ended. And as a parent, and I feel you as well should as a parent, is continuously discuss safe sex. My parents just assumed that I would wait till I was married. But obviously, as I stated earlier, 91% of women have sex before they are married. So the odds are against us. There are some things that my parents did that I would definitely do if my teenager became pregnant. As a parent, you have to be very supportive. So, we know that we would prefer our children not to become pregnant at a young age. But if they do, we have to be supportive and help them figure out a solution. 31% of teenagers who became pregnant tried to commit suicide in the year 2000. That is a big statistical number. 3 out of every 10 tried to commit suicide because they were pregnant and scared to tell their parents or an adult. So we have to be helpful to them. We have to make them understand that, okay, you are pregnant. That is okay. This is a situation that can be dealt with. Be honest with your child. Tell them how you feel, or that you are disappointed, but that you're going to help them and that they could be a good parent and be a positive role model for their child. Being pregnant as a teenager is very difficult, but it's not the end of the world, and it can definitely be prevented if we, as parents, communicate constantly with our children about safe sex and teen pregnancy. Remember, your child's hands, your child's future is in the palm of your hands. You have to discuss safe sex at all times and at a very early age. Discussing safe sex is talking about your child's tomorrow. Know everything about your child. Question every moment. Be there for your child and help them through those roadblocks that they may encounter. Having children is a blessing. Savor that moment and wait till you are older. Teen pregnancy is too much responsibility too soon. It is hard, very, very hard for children to have children. So remember, talk to your children about safe sex and teen pregnancy. It can be prevented.